And we welcome you to ISM Raceway, even though it's Phoenix Raceway. It is. We're here in Phoenix. We're here in the desert at the 1 Mile Oval here in Phoenix, and we're set to go for yet another round. I think this is race 8 or 9 on the season for the iRacing Stock Car Association. Jacob Hitz, Nolan Rempel here with you for the call, and well, after the pace car led the most laps last week at Martinsville, hopefully a different change of pace here at Phoenix.
That is certainly the hope as we get ready to sling these machines around the wild, wild west over in Phoenix, Arizona at the beautiful Phoenix Raceway. Of course, the most notable feature of this track, as by now just about everybody will know, the fact that the yellow line that you see all the way around the racetrack, definitely more of a suggestion line at a track like this one. That dog leg you see on the back straightaway, you will be seeing drivers cutting that one all day long, trying to get the most amount of time around this racetrack.
Yeah, so this racetrack, the way it is on here is different than the way it is in the real world, let's say. They reconfigured it. I don't remember when they figured it for, but the way it is now, currently, not in iRacing, the front stretch is now the back stretch. The back stretch is now the front stretch. The start-finish line is out of what used to be turn 2, and here on iRacing, it's the way it used to be, where the straightaway is the front stretch, and then the stretch with the dog leg is the back stretch. And there's no grass anymore on the back stretch, so these guys are going to be going from the top wall all the way to the bottom wall, and then when they get to turn 3, it's going to be like trying to shove a marshmallow into a parking meter. It goes from 8 lanes to 4 or 3, maybe even 2 by the time they get to the turn, and it's just not going to...
It's going to be a very interesting race, I think it's safe to say. 12 times we got right now on the boards, and I'll tell you what, there is a pretty big performance gap from the top to the bottom. Just 0.4 of a second separate first through 11th. Unfortunately for poor James Colabelli, though, about 0.8 from 11th to 12th. So that's not quite what you want to see if you're the number 17 machine.
Nope. So he's at the back. Still, a lot of guys have yet to set a time. Boyd Hogan, Christopher Hill, Dalton Collins, Tyler Pluff, although he's on the racetrack right now, Jaden Profit, Clifton Cockrell. So still a lot of guys trying to set some times. Before we get any farther, let's take a break here and air our new sponsor, who will be coming on as the series sponsor starting next season. Back here at Phoenix Raceway, as, well, perfect timing. We're right at the end of qualifying. 14 drivers set a time, and we'll go do the national anthem now. When we come back, we'll run through the grid and get us ready to go here from Phoenix. We're back in a moment. Now time for the anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And now, for the most famous words in motorsports. Drivers, start your engine!
All right, Nolan, it's time to run us down through the starting grid. Why don't you take it away?
Starting off on the pole position for today with a 26.369 is Andrew Melvin, 300ths of a second off of him. Mike Eames rocking out row number 1. Chris Johnson, the 48 machine, 3rd place. Mike Knight in 4th. Brian Johnson, 4th. Tyler Pluff rounding out the first 3 rows. Greg Johnson, Wayne Grossi, 7th and 8th. John Mullins and Ron Hollifield rounding out the top 10 here, Jacob.
Kenny Powell's in 11th in that 24 machine. To his outside, the 13 of Brian Hubble. The next row, the 96 of Jeffrey Smith. And in 14th, James Culibali in the 17. He was the last one to set a time. Everybody else running down through the 81 of Boyd Hogan in 15th. Christopher Hill in the 78 and 16th. 17th, the 95 of Dalton Collins. 18th, the 16 of Clifton Cockrell. 19th, the 65 of Jaden Profit. And Cecil Keith rounds out the field of 20 cars. Just some notes. After the chaos of Martinsville, Ashton Crowder and Mark Love each suspended for tonight's race. Tyler Smith is suspended, period, after last week. And taking provos tonight, Michael Doyle, David Gervais, and Paul Olson.
Quite a few drivers not making the grid. It appears that the casualties from Martinsville seem to carry on over, as they so often do, week in, week out, when it comes to the fastest paperclip in the world, or in our case, the slowest paperclip in the world over in Virginia.
And Andrew Melvin just drop-kicked the cone on the backstretch, so we're already off to a good start here at Phoenix.
Oh, why not? It's already bad.
Next week we are at Homestead. And then... trying to figure out my calendar here. Then I believe we're at Nashville.
Yes,
Nashville. Then we take a break off for Thanksgiving, and then we wrap up the season at Richmond. So next week, the only non-short track left. We're glad you're watching. Pace cars in. Andrew Melvin leads us down. Green flag. We're racing from Phoenix.
Pretty even start so far. No big takers. Big check for the back of the field, though. They do go 3 wide for a moment. So far, though, everybody's looking to be clean. One car slides.
Hogan. That's Boyd Hogan. He went down 3 wide, making the move for positions, and he almost lost the car there on the back straightaway. He's on the bottom. He's not wasting any time trying to get up towards the front off of turn 4. Whoa, the 83. Whoa. Craig Johnson. Did he hit the wall?
He did. Little tap on the left front.
No, he got close. The car just got loose on corner exit of turn 4, and that could have been big.
And kind of slapped the inside wall a bit. The front left of that car is crumbled in. One other car slides. So Keith takes a big dive to the inside wall through the dog. We have to get it unsettled on the transitioning. That's one thing to be very careful of as well with that dog. Like, is that transitioning down off of down coming back over the racetrack?
So these guys are driving handfuls of race cars right now. These guys are all over the place. The car's not the way they want them to. I mean, we're in Arizona, so the track is not their real friend right now. Track temp's only 84 degrees, with the air temp at 70. Still, I mean, these guys are all over the place. Battle for 11th or so. 78, Christopher Hill, Ron Hollyfield getting freight trained up on the outside.
So Ron Hollyfield going to have to sacrifice a spot to Boyd Hogan, who, if you remember, got loose on the opening lap. He's going to have to slot back in line of Hollyfield before Cliff McCockrell can find his way to the bottom as well. Battle further up the field, though. Tyler Pluff trying to go on Brian Johnson for the final spot on the podium. He's going to get it done in one.
And Wayne Grossi's going to follow him right down to the bottom as well. Looks like he's going to take the spot, and he will. So move Brian Johnson back to the 5th spot, top 5. Andrew Melvin, Chris Johnson, Tyler Pluff, Wayne Grossi, Brian Johnson. Everybody else pretty much congaing around this racetrack right now, as there's some action back there behind Mike Knight. Here comes Kenny Powell to the inside. Dalton Collins right on the back bumper as well.
Powell going to go through very, very easily. Nothing Mike Knight can do about that one. Collins going to follow suit. Looks like Christopher Hale, last week's winner, going to go through as well. Boyd Hogan trying to follow suit as well. They're double file now as Powell already gets shuffled out of line back to the top side of the racetrack. This really does show just how big the shuffle can be here and how much you don't want to be on that outside line, because unlike at tracks like Kansas or Chicagoland, that outside line, it's never going to come into play.
Yeah, that outside line is not very useful here. Very often do you see somebody make a pass and it work. Powell got past coming off of 2 that last time by the 95 of Dalton Collins, and since then everybody's gone right by him. Hill, Hogan, and Mike Knight still a little too far back to try and make a run for it. Andrew Melvin's got about an 1/8 of a second lead. It's relatively close from Chris Johnson on back, though, with Tyler Pluff starting to close in for that second position.
Starting to close up as well. You're going to have to keep in mind, though, it's of course one thing to catch, another thing to pass. John Mullins gets shuffled out of line behind by Dalton Collins as well. So the 64 machine loses out on the 7th position. He might lose out again here to Christopher Hill unless he can get the run here down the front.
And as we learned throughout the week, John Mullins, James Mullins, no relation. James Mullins not here tonight. John Mullins is. And he started up towards the front, but now he's starting to slip through the field.
Indeed, it's the 64 machine, the very lime green machine for BLE, starting to slip on back. Boyd Hogan looks like he wants to take away what is right now the 9th position, as Christopher Hill has got the 8th position settled. Mullins tried to stuff it in around the outside. That move didn't quite work out for him. It's going to allow Boyd Hogan to pick up the 9th position.
Trouble, Brian Hubble, turn 2 backstretch. He was all but,
He got rear-ended by Jeffrey Smith.
Jeffrey Smith punted him into turn 1, and he slid it all the way through 1 and 2, overcorrected and hit the outside wall. That car, a lot of damage to it, but there is no caution. So bad break for a Hubble. I'm sure he can't be very happy about that. Focusing on the battle, 2nd through 4th. Chris Johnson, Tyler Pluff, Wayne Grossi. They're all under a blanket off the floor.
That BR, it's Chris Johnson leading the way in that 24 machine. He's up 1 for where he started tonight. Meanwhile, you got Tyler Pluff up 3. Grossi's up 4. So 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place have all gained 1, 3, and 4 positions respectively from where they started in this race. You see cars starting to go double file behind them as well, as Mike Eames loses out to Dalton Collins off of 4. Brian Hubble's in the pits.
Kenny Powell fighting with John Mullins for the 10th spot. Not much of a fight. Powell got it, and he is away. And you're right, Hubble is on pit road. Can't imagine he's very happy with the 96 Jeffrey Smith. And we'll have to see if there's some payback in that regard. Brian Johnson has Dalton Collins peeking underneath here off turn 4. This is for 5th.
Oh, so close to the left rear quarter panel of Brian Johnson. Collins so lucky to not get into him, and looks like Johnson is going to run it wide and potentially give Collins that spot. Collins was definitely hunting for it. He wanted to get it, and well, he has it now. Not let you go to the dog leg, though, unlike every driver behind him. Brian Johnson, though, he might lose out again here to Christopher Hill, because Hill is on the hunt.
Yeah, he's right all over the back bumper of that 4 car, so it appears that maybe not so good on the short run. We'll have to see what happens on the long run. We're 14 laps into this deal, and here comes Christopher Hale on the bottom. Boyd Hogan's going to come with him. Mike Eames is lurking around back there as well. So Johnson's going to lose at least 2 more spots down on the backstretch through the dog leg and off to turn 3. Battle for 5th. Not much of a battle. Make it 4th. Dalton Collins blows by Wayne Grassi. Gets the spot.
Changing hands for 4th and 5th. And the thing is, the more these drivers battle, the easier it is for Christopher Hill and Boyd Hogan to reel them in. And should note as well that Hill and Hogan finished 1-2 respectively at Martinsville last week. After that race ended under the yellow flag, we're hoping that this race does not end in similar fashion.
Let's hope we don't even need the green-white checker.
Who doesn't love a good green-white checker? That's for the excitement.
Well.
Collins up the inside of Pluff into turn number 1.
Oh, he drove it in real deep. Pluff tried to do the crossover. Did not quite work. And, well, worked a little bit.
He's
They're
got
still
him.
side by side.
Oh, and Collins covering off the inside line, really pinching Tyler Pluff out there and backing him up into the clutches of Wayne Grassi, who is no doubt going to be trying to find his way through. So far, everything is still very much clean apart from that incident with Brian Hubble, who should note as well has parked it, so Brian Hubble took that car to the hauler. Oh, Collins! Big slide on the turn number 2 and saves it.
He's going to lose maybe nothing. He's not going to lose a single spot. That's incredible.
Well, he'll be able to right down to the inside wall where the dog leg was.
I don't know if I don't even know if he ever lifted.
Would have had to lift, but not by much. Holy cow. That has checked this whole grouping up here. So you got second all the way back to the 7th position, all under a big blanket right now. And this might get hairy here. Collins trying to find the inside of Chris Johnson. Can't quite get there, though. And all this is still allowing Andrew Melvin to pull away. Wayne Grassi trying to dive bomb Tyler Pluff. That move doesn't work.
Yeah, Grassi instead, he's going to get some pressure from the 78 of Christopher Hill. Actually, he had the lift, so Boyd Hogan's going to take the spot. Battle for second again. Collins underneath, dives it, sends it, side by side, not for long. Dalton Collins to second, and Grassi right underneath Pluff. Not going to work, at least for now.
Still has that nose in there into turn number 1. Grassi might try to dive it in. Pluff not quite clear yet for the 21 machine. And it looks like now he might lose the spot here through the dogleg and into turn 3.
Pluff trying to make that outside line work. Yeah, I mean, it'd be impressive if he can. Boyd Hogan there trying to spoil the party. He's up on the bottom. Pluff trying to get the better launch off the corner. Looks like he will for now, but we'll see how long it lasts as they go back to 1.
Pluff doing an admirable job of hanging on to the outside line. Boyd Hogan might not be the happiest camper, though. Hogan! As he slides.
And there goes Grassi. He saves it, but he's going to lose about a half a dozen spots or so as he goes to turn 3. He's going to fall all the way back to 10th.
Trying to immediately fight back from 10th as he's trying to get up the inside of Kenny Powell here. Got to be careful, though, that he doesn't overwork that throttle because those tires are not going to be happy with him right now.
Yeah, really. Ryan Johnson fighting with Mike Eames. Johnson got a little squirrely back there. This is for 7th.
Battle's still hotting up all over the racetrack. Kenny Powell in this mix as well. And, of course, Wayne Grassi, the driver that was just fighting for the podium positions, not so much anymore. He's going to have to try to work his way through this gaggle of cars as the 4 and the 3 machines still both do battling. Mike Eames, he's the one now trying to pull the out.
Oh, Johnson went up the hill. Here comes Powell. 3 wide.
3 wide through the dogleg, 2 underneath the line. Powell comes back.
Who's going to give? It's gonna be Johnson. Whoa! Powell got loose. Johnson tries to cut back underneath. Powell passes them both.
Great battle there. Great decisive maneuver from Kenny Powell. He picked up 2 in the span of 1 straightaway. Certainly did not give an inch. Oh, he's running a little bit wide, though, through the center of the corner. That's going to put Ellen still in the car.
Hang on to it. And here comes Johnson back on the bottom.
Now Mike Eames has picked up the 9th position.
Whoa!
Mike Eames.
Tyler Pluff almost ate it coming off of 4. Him and Christopher Hill were fighting for the spot, and Pluff got really loose, made a chicane on the front stretch. He's still rolling, but he lost the spot to Hill. Meanwhile, back here, Powell's lost some more spots now.
When Grossi's on the charge, he's up to 8th now, trying to run down Brian Johnson for 7th. The question is, will he be able to make the run here on the front stretch? Doesn't look like he will. Might have to try something into turn number 3.
Off of 2, down the back stretch. Eames now underneath Powell. He might get the spot here. Johnson fighting for it with Grossi. Johnson hangs on to the 7th. Whoa! Mike Eames, hang on to it. Drifting it through 3 and 4.
It's a very flat track, this one. Definitely not the most amount of banking in the world, and I think that has got to do with why we're seeing this racing playing out the way it is with everybody sliding around. The banking is not going to be more than, what, 15 degrees or so?
Especially in turn 3. Turn 1, I think, has a little bit higher banking. I'm looking, and of course, I'm...
89 degrees. Looks like 89 degrees down the back stretch, 10 to 11 degrees down the front stretch, 10 degrees in turn 1, another 10 to 11 in 4. It's a very flat track here, in other words.
Pretty much. Let's go up front to the lead. Andrew Melvin now has Dalton Collins on his bumper. Melvin was out to about a 2nd lead, and now it's down to a 10th. This Collins is right there. He's going to go for it. Turn 3. Side by side.
Oh, he's loose.
Oh, man. It's lap 30, guys. Be careful.
And new leader, give it to Dalton Collins, taking the lead away from Andrew Melvin.
Melvin just says, here, take it. Don't kill me in the process.
Want to point out, Collins started 17th today after not setting laps in both practice or qualifying, and he's in the race lead.
Well, yeah, okay. So Dalton Collins, Boyd Hogan haven't set a lap before this race started, at least in this session. They're 1st and 3rd. Christopher Hill set 1 lap. He was slow in practice. It didn't set a lap in qualifying. He's 4th. So I guess these guys have been logging a lot of laps outside of here, because right now they are flying through this field.
This is Dalton Collins' 3rd start of the season as well. He's right now 31st down to the points. Has yet to win a race, though, today in the season from the looks of it as well. He does have 2 top 5s, so he's finished top 5 in the both races that he's been in. He's trying to make that 3 top 5s, though, and a win.
We're closing in. Actually, I think we're past a 5th of the way through this race here at Phoenix. Everybody pretty strung out for the time being now. As I think closest battle on the racetrack. Have to go back to, again, 7th through 10th. With Johnson, Grossi, Eames, and Powell. Powell just blinked out of existence. Now he's back. I think this is the closest battle that we've got going on right now.
You say that. Jeffrey Smith is all over the back end of Jaden Profit, who's trying to run down John Mullins. Those 3 cars are about 0.2 of a second apart from each other, period. So that's the battle for 14th, 15th, and 16th further on in the back. And you can see Jeffrey Smith is all over the place as, holy cow, just tried to get underneath Jaden Profit and almost took him out in the process.
That was close.
John Mullins is continuing to drop through the order. He's all sorts of out of shape now. Look at that machine wriggling off of turn number 2. Jaden Profit going to take to the inside, way down the track to the dogleg, and clears him by the time they even get to turn number 3.
And Mullins started 9th, was running higher on the grid, and he's just falling off.
Andrew Melvin has lost third place in the meantime. Boyd Hogan is now up to second, further up in the field, and it looks like Melvin's pace has dropped off because at the moment he's lapping half a second slower than most of the other drivers in this field.
Well, we missed it. Battle for second's over. Boyd Hogan has it. Andrew Melvin now in third.
Like I said, Melvin is losing a couple tenths a lap. I think he's kind of burnt all his stuff up. That car is really twitching off just about every single corner, so I think he burned all his stuff up early on to get that massive lead, and now it's really coming back to bite him.
These guys get, These guys get 4 total sets of tires, 3 sets left in the pits. Is it too early to start thinking about tires?
I certainly wouldn't put it past these drivers. I mean, got 118 laps to go in a 156 lap race. I'd say it's definitely fair to, come on down for a set of tires if the yellow flag comes out.
Especially some of these guys in the back, like Mullins, Keith, Jeffrey Smith. I just saw, Cecil Keith. He made his own chicane on the front stretch. That was close.
That's put within firing distance of Jeffrey Smith in the 96 machine.
Well, and Smith almost lost it going off in turn 4 as well. Yeah. So these guys are out of control right now.
Oh, look at John Mullins way up the track, nearly hits the wall.
If we're going to see a caution, it's going to come from back here, I have a feeling.
So the closest battle on the track now, Jeffrey Smith versus Cecil Keith in the battle for 16th and 17th. And look at the push.
The track's down here, pal, and there goes Smith. He's going to try and get by Mullins as well.
Should note the fuel window is an estimated... Fuel window is looking to be an estimated 90 laps, so we're about halfway through the first fuel window now in the race. I wonder if we'll be seeing drivers come down for tires sooner, though, because we've seen a lot of drivers already smoking them up on the exit of these corners early on.
Well, if the fuel window does 90 laps, they can make it on one stop for fuel. It's just tires that are the outlier here is, whoa, John Mullins.
John Mullins is really out of control on that 64 machine. He has got to make sure he keeps that car, firmly planted underneath him. Just running the numbers here as well here, Jacob. He said we have 4 sets of tires total today, yeah?
Yep.
Right,
whoa!
So, whoa, look out. Oh, it might be yellow here.
Yee! Save of the year. Holy crap.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I hope that you need to go back to replay that if you didn't see it live. Oh, my gosh. Oh, I can't believe he saved that.
You don't save something like that on burned tires. Now, anyways, speaking of the tires.
8 lanes wide.
Speaking of tires, running the numbers here. If you divide up the 4 sets of tires across the whole 156 laps distance, 39 laps, that's where about you'll be wanting to change out for fresh tires if you want to use all 4 sets under green. So at this point in time, if the caution comes out, these drivers, every single one of them must come down for tires. Otherwise, they're just going to be swallowed up here.
As much as I want to keep watching these guys in the back, we've got to go up to third. Because Christopher Hill is right on the back bumper of Andrew Melvin.
Looks like Melvin is about to be dumped out of the podium here, and your last week's winner, Christopher Hill, about to have a go at it. A look at Melvin just pushing up the track, letting the 78 car go. Besides, not going to really want to fight it too badly, unless he does real loose off of 4, and he's actually going to get a great run down the front straightaway, but, well, Christopher Hill is going to completely nullify that run with zone dive down into turn number 1.
Trying to pull a little bit of a side draft there on the front stretch. Not sure how well that works at Phoenix, but nonetheless, they're still side by side for third as they head to turn 3, and it looks like Hill has the advantage.
Definitely has the advantage there. Andrew Melvin, like I said, looks like he just completely burnt his stuff up early on here. Well, might try to fight back here. into turn number 1. No, not close enough. It ends up backing out of it and electing not to go for the spot. Dalton Collins, meanwhile, is about to catch lap traffic. He has got lap traffic of Craig Johnson.
We saw Johnson hit the wall early, and there he goes up the hill, and first car 1 lap down.
So that will put Craig Johnson now into the lucky dog position. So at this point in time, Johnson is hoping for a lucky dog, because otherwise that will go to James Colabelli, who's the next car Collins has to put a lap down. And if Colabelli goes a lap down and the yellow flag comes out, that might really hurt Craig Johnson here, because from the looks of it, this is not going to be one of those races where we're going to be seeing yellow after yellow.
Doesn't seem like it. Now, once they get it all bunched back up again, if we see a first caution, you never know. But for the time being, we've been able to keep it clean so far, minus a few single car daisies. But they've been able to keep them straight for the most part. And I know it's hard for you to believe this, but Jeffrey Smith is 2/10 faster than John Mullins and Cecil Keith right now. He's closing the gap. So we saw Jeffrey Smith almost die a couple laps ago, and now he's closing in the guys that he was battling with about 5 laps ago.
I mean, hey, something's just got to let the tires reset and do their thing. He was 0.3 of a second faster the last time round, and he is still closing in to Cecil Keith. He's got them in his sights now, too. James Colabelli just behind, so he knows as well that the leaders are closing in. He might be trying to catch on up real quick now to make sure that he can get himself a lap down, and just like that, he actually just lost.
I was going to say, yeah, he just lost a lot there coming off of 4. I'm not sure what happened to it, but the car doesn't seem to be driving as good as it was.
The field really is split up for pretty much the entire field. Not a whole lot of side-by-side battling going on right now. This is really how a lot of Phoenix races tend to go. They're either complete caution fests, like we saw actually even all the way up in what was at the time the peak antifreeze NASCAR World Championship on iRacing a couple years ago, or it goes like this, where everybody just gets pretty much spread out, and there's not a whole lot that goes on.
A little battle for 16th, 15th. John Mullins, Cecil Keith. Yeah, this has been going on for the last couple laps, and closest battle on the racetrack.
Exactly 1/3 of the way now through this race. Mullins definitely under fire here from Cecil Keith. And the question is, can Cecil Keith make the dive bomb here? He's still not close enough, and he's lost just a little bit of time there on the entry. Pushed a bit too wide on entry. The front end really is starting to plow out on a lot of these cars.
And Collins has closed the gap to not only Colabelli, but also the 96 of Jeffrey Smith. So we may see both of them go a lap down in the same lap.
That might not be pleasant for Craig Johnson, because that means that's just a couple more cars there that he's then going to have to battle with. Of course, he's not going to be able to do so, though, because he still has that damage, and he is still losing a lot of time as he's being lapped right now as well. John Mullins, though, he's kind of holding steady here with Cecil Keith. Neither driver can really break away from the other, but neither driver can really close in. As I say that, Cecil Keith, great run off a turn 2. He's cutting through the dogleg, but just loses that time, though, from the transition. Meanwhile, you have Dalton Collins, your overall race leader, currently in the wings, seeing if he can find a way around James Colabelli. Colabelli trying to find his way underneath Jeffrey Smith. Colabelli has, of course, reeled in the gap on the couple drivers ahead of him in a little bit recently. So it might be a 4-car battle here for the 15th position that your race leader is going to have to try to dart his way through.
Oh my, I thought he was going to turn Jeffrey Smith right there. That was close.
Oh, look out!
Oh, Cecil Keith, where are you going? Oh, and Colabelli has to go high because Smith had to get on the brakes, and here comes Dalton Collins. Where does Colabelli go? He's going to go to the bottom.
Remember, these two drivers are battling for position, and there's nothing Dalton Collins can do about that. So he's just got to. Yeah, you might try to go 3 wider to get around him, though. Colombo is not having it. He cuts him off.
Oh, he almost got run over.
Oh, my goodness me.
Whoa, Collins. My goodness.
Collins is losing time.
Collins, he's almost going to get run over again.
Collins is going to move him sooner or later here because he's losing time to Boyd Hogan. Hurry here. There's the bump.
Oh, he hit him. He saved it. He didn't even hit the wall. Wow. Cecil Keith is coming to pit road. Meanwhile, Columbali, another great save. First we saw one from Smith.
Don't think it's too surprising to see Keith down on pit road. He tanked that inside wall big time when he got off a 4.
And now Collins gets by Smith. And there goes Mullins diving into pit road.
Boyd Hogan, meanwhile, makes the pass on James Columbali behind and puts him another spot down. And the train nearly gets cleaned out, but he's going to hang on to that one. So now Boyd Hogan's just got to reel in Jeffrey Smith, and there's going to be no lap cars between himself and Dalton Collins.
Craig Johnson on pit road. Everybody else staying out for now.
Craig Johnson in the lane. Mullins is just now leaving his pit box. I see Cecil Keith, who is fully out of pit road, still with a lot of damage, though, on the front left of that machine.
He's only in the pits for 28 seconds. Not sure that they got all the damage fixed, but he may have just said, all right, heck with it, I'm going.
Hey, if you're under green, at the end of the day, there comes a point where it's not worth it staying in the pits for that long.
And Craig Johnson, the same thing. We saw him hit the wall with the left side of the car. He was on pit road. He's in the box, and he's down and away.
Johnson and Tyler Pluff are real close to the battle for 6th and 7th right now. The number 4 machine really hounding the mirrors of the 21 and trying to find a way through for the past couple laps now. Pluff gets a big jump on him, though, into turn 3, but you're going to see Brian Johnson just reels him in through the mid-corner. So the battle for 6th and 7th still underway. Brian Johnson still can't find a way through. It's
Tyler Pluff drifting it through 3 and 4.
Johnson got loose on the exit there too. Real close to the tail end of that machine now. He's got to try to find a way through here, or he might have to leapfrog him in the pits. Oh, Craig just put Hill in the wall!
I think we got trouble. Caution. Big crash. That's Christopher Hill.
That
He
was,
just got run over by Craig Johnson. Wow.
that was just stupid, if you ask me.
Johnson 3 laps down, and I mean, he just drove it in there and killed him.
I don't know what to say to that one. That is unbelievable.
Somebody get the Morgan Shepherd, Joey Logano tape ready to go, because we've got an identical one here in Phoenix. First caution, and that's going to open the window for everybody and their mother to come onto pit road here.
It looks like Jeffrey Smith is going to get the lucky dog pass.
And I just watched Christopher
What did Hill do?
He is pissed.
Oh my!
He went to take a shot at Craig Johnson and went.
Do it here.
And
Do it here.
Oh,
I
not
missed
sure if
his
that
pit
was
box.
a message or not, but now he's in his box, and he's going to be sitting there probably for the rest of the night.
I don't know if you're speeding in pit road under yellow flag. Initially that's only an end of the line penalty. He's going to be fine.
He has no front. He has no front clip on the car, Nolan. He's not going anywhere right now.
To be fair, he can drive the car. He can still drive it. So I don't know if he's going to go out and take a shot at Johnson.
Dalton
Honestly-
Collins wins the race off pit road, and I think Christopher Hill's going to win the race back to the hauler post race after that.
Are we about to see 2012 Autumn Phoenix all over again with Jeff
boy.
versus Fire?
Is Christopher Hill going to go sprint through the garage area? I don't think so.
Same corner, too, and the exact same type of incident, too. Both drivers just kind of stuffed it in, slammed the outside wall in turn 4.
Except nobody else piled in.
Thank goodness for that one. I don't know what to make of that one. I mean,
Yeah, that's interesting.
I know Craig Johnson was on fresh tires. I know that for a fact. But just because you're on fresh tires and 3 laps down, that doesn't mean you can run somebody over. I mean, what in the world
Especially when they're
was
in
he?
4th spot.
3rd, actually, at the time, I believe it was.
Yeah, you're right. He was 3rd.
That is. Oh boy. I have a feeling that the league admins are going to have quite the discussion to say about that one post-race. Talk about a tough break for Christopher Hill. He was trying to go back-to-back. He had the car to do it. He was running down the leaders. He was worked his way up there. He started in 16th. He was up to 3rd, if you remember. That was as high as he has been all day. He won the last race at Martinsville. And, he's not going to go back-to-back here today.
Yeah, seriously. He's still on pit road. Same with Johnson. And we're now 1 lap to green. Boyd Hogan and Dalton Collins are back on pit road. They're topping off. They're topping off with fuel before we go back green. They're going to try and make it to the end.
That'll be an interesting one for them.
You said fuel mileage is 90 laps. We're under 90 to go. We're at, I think, like 88 to go, 89 to go. They're going to try and take it the distance on these ancient tires.
Well, tires are not ancient, keep in mind. They're only
Well, they will be if they don't pit again.
That's true. Again, like the fall off really comes at about lap 36. I mean, that's where you'd have to pit every single lap you want to go through.
You saw them cut through the field already. If this thing goes green the rest of the way, I'd be interested to see how this plays out. Field comes off turn 4. Pace cars on pit road. Andrew Melvin, Chris Johnson lead us down to the restart. We're back underway.
Rossi checked up Ron Hollifield quite a bit there on that restart.
Off it into turn 1.
And Hollifield just about gets dumped by Jaden Profit off of turn number 2. Really close to the back end, nearly got clipped, but luckily it looks like everybody for now is through cleanly in one piece.
I don't know how.
Just wait till the tires get up to temperature.
That's true. Tyler Pluff with Clifton Cockrell and the Hollyfield. Whoa, Brian Johnson almost got run over by Wayne Grassi.
And Hollifield really checks up Clifton Cockrell there in the turn number 3. Cockrell might not be terribly pleased about that one. Oh, look!
Dalton Collins trying to slice his way through the field, trying to bring him Boyd Hogan with them. Oh, my! Dalton Collins is just saying, excuse me, pardon me, coming through.
It's like a kid cutting a line to the candy store right about now. Boyd Hogan gets clear of Hollifield and Cockrell, leaving them side by side behind. Hollifield a little bit loose down the whole front straightaway, but he's managed to hang on to it.
I don't know how Dalton Collins and Boyd Hogan are going to have tires at the end of this run if we go green the rest of the way, because they're absolutely driving the wheels off those things.
He is. I mean, you look at Dalton Collins, he started way down at, what, about 14th position or so. Well, actually, it was down where 16th place was.
So deep into the corners.
They're up to 8th now. Well, they were at the start of the lap, at least. Dalton Collins looks like he's going to try to pick up one on Tyler Bluff here down in the turn number 3 if you can get to him. And Craig Johnson's parked the car for the night.
Christopher Hill, he's still on pit road, still trying to fix the car. Been there for 5.5 minutes.
And it's probably going to be there for another 5 or so before that car can get back out there. It definitely is not a quick fix to put a whole new front clip on the car. That's not exactly the kind of spare part you just have lying around.
Oh, really? Mike Eames is getting some pressure right now from Kenny Powell. This is for third, going, oh, he just punted him! Saved it. Oh my gosh, Mike Eames, save of the year. I know Jeffrey Smith had it, it's taken away. Mike Eames just got it now, and this is a cluster back here with Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson just got it. He saved it. Are you kidding me, guys?
Rollins going below the line, trying to go 3-1 from really creeped him out.
Oh my gosh. Mike Eames can't be too happy with Kenny Powell. Nobody's happy with anybody right now. There's still 3 wide back here. And Boyd Hogan's in the mix.
Kind of bluff Mike and sandwich here. Looks like he's going to survive it. Use 3 wide up the middle. Brian Johnson looks like he's going to try to go for the crossover off of 4. Not sure if he'll be able to get down there in time to make it work. In fact, he won't. He's actually going to be forced to sit back in line and wait.
Oh my goodness. There was, what, 4 wrecks that should have happened there?
I'd say more than that, closer to 5 or 6.
Oh my gosh. And we're still green.
Both Hogan and Collins are finding their way by Kenny Powell now. That's going to put them up into 4th and 5th.
Powell now has Tyler Pluff behind him.
Looks like now things have settled down for the most part, at least. We are halfway, by the way, this time by at the line. 78 down, 78 to go.
Going a lot faster than Martinsville. Let's keep it that way.
Well, it helps when you've only got a 10th of the caution so far.
Well, that's true.
Single file out for most of the field here, it's looking like, including way in the back. Nobody side by side at the moment. Nobody's even really looking for a position right about now. Everybody's just kind of running on their lonesome, especially poor Cecil Keith, who still with that left front damage is lapping at, well, let's just put it this way, slow. Almost a second off of the leaders. Cockrell, meanwhile, is finding his way underneath Brian Johnson into 3.
Haven't said much about Cockrell, at least in that opening stint. But he's up there fighting for spots now, and here he is under Johnson. Trying to bring Jaden Profit with him. Johnson goes way up the racetrack.
Bit of a field separation now. You got first on back to about 7th, and then it's 8th on back from there. Look at this corner. Sets the cars, though, from 8th back. Cockrell loose along with Johnson. Both drivers doing a little bit of drifting. Off a turn 4.
Netcode. Netcode just killed Brian Johnson. Caution, he kept it off the wall. Woo. I think Brian Johnson kept that thing off the wall. Extreme Netcode. Yes! Oh! Just touched it with the right rear corner. Oh my gosh. But I mean, there was still 1.5 feet of room between those 2 cars.
Yeah, even the drivers were confirming that was Netcode too. So that's just massively unfortunate. That was such a big wheel hop right there. You saw going into the corner as well.
Yeah,
for that machine. You often see that sort of thing in Indy cars, not so much in stock cars.
All right, so now if you're Boyd Hogan and Dalton Collins, do you pit? Or do you stay out? If they pit for tires, do you pit for tires, or do you stay out since you know you can make it the rest of the way potentially on fuel?
I'd say come on down to change tires, but definitely don't top them on fuel. Keep that car nice and light to make sure it's faster in the long run. That'll actually help them cut through the field sooner. And we'll have to see what they're going to do here. Boyd Hogan might come down. He's staying out, though. Things out at the last second.
Chris Johnson is going to be your race leader. Andrew Melvin's coming to pit road. Dalton Collins and Hogan stay out. Kenny Powell stays out. Clifton Cockrell stays out. Everybody else is coming. So about a 60-40 split. Guys coming to pit road, guys staying out.
That'll make the restart very interesting.
Let's go to commercial. I'm back in a bit and hear from Phoenix. Second caution today. Chris Johnson's your leader. Back here at Phoenix, the lap cars are coming to pit road right now. And it's been an interesting race so far. A lot better than Martinsville, that's for sure.
It'll be a very interesting restart here as well. You got the top 4 that are out there on 18, 20 lap old tires. 5th on back have come in for fresh tires as well. And that's going to make it very interesting because remember, you mentioned it, Boyd Hogan and Dalton Collins, the 2 drivers that have been looking very fast. They were both set to make it to the end on fuel. But the question is going to be, of course, on the tire life. And I think they might have made a bad call by not coming down for tires. Same with Kenny Powell and Chris Johnson, because they are going to be absolutely swamped here on the restart.
We'll have to see what happens here. There's still a long way to go. I think we'll come to 1 to green this time by. Chris Johnson is your leader. The top 4 stayed out. Johnson, Collins, Hogan, Powell all stayed out. Everybody else has visited pit road.
And James Calaballi, for those that are curious, did get the Lucky Dog free pass. So Calaballi back on the lead lap. That leaves drivers on the racetrack, John Mullins and Cecil Keith, the only 2 a lap down. Cecil Keith still with really big damage on his left front, which is definitely hindering the performance on that race car.
So 2 cautions tonight. The first one between the lap car of Craig Johnson and the lead lap car, the 3rd place car of Christopher Hill. Hill is still on pit road trying to fix the car, but the front clip is missing on that machine. The second caution, Netcode got Brian Johnson turned around. He almost kept it off the wall, and he is. I think he'll be all right, but we'll have to see. Pace car's in, and Chris Johnson's not wasting any time. Green flag. Kenny Powell is sleeping back there in 4th spot. He's going to lose 1 spot before they even get to the line.
That's going to leave it over Andrew Melvin. Bebop side by side for the lead. Collins versus Johnson. Johnson gets run over by Boyd Hogan and nearly gets taken out.
That was close. Hogan down to the bottom. Sends it in. Here comes Andrew Melvin. He's going to send it in as well. Here come the fresh tires.
They are looking mighty hungry here. They're almost making contact for 3rd as Chris Johnson went from 1st to 3rd. Now dumps him out of the podium position. It's going to be Andrew Melvin who picks up the final podium position. Oh my word!
3 wide. Hello. Powell doesn't have anywhere to go.
Poor Kenny did not want to see that side, both in the mirror and behind. Wayne Grossi's trying to go 3 wide around Jeffrey Smith behind these guys as well. They're still loose.
Wow, Chris Johnson sent it in from the high side, chopped down in front of Pluff, and he's going to make it stick.
That's only delayed the inevitable.
Well, maybe, but now here comes Powell underneath Pluff. Never mind. He thought about it and then backed out of it by the time he got to turn 3.
And Wayne Grossi might not think about it, though. He's just going to go for it on Kenny Powell and might try to go for the spot here. He will. Down to the turn of 1. That's the battle for 6th. That just got settled as Wayne Grossi goes through on Kenny Powell. Once again, old tires versus new tires. Should note, remember Dalton Collins, Boyd Hogan? Even on older tires, they have gapped the field by almost 1.5 seconds.
And they're about to start fighting for the lead here. As the field comes down the front straightaway once again and heads back towards turn number 1. It's all Collins and Hogan up at the front. It's still a cluster of cars from third on back. I mean, it's just chaos right now.
It is just absolute chaos. I mean, that's what restarts on Phoenix often do. If you remember 2016 between Kevin Harvick and Carl Edwards, I mean, that was one heck of a restart there in and of itself for the final stages. Look at Clifton Cockrell trying to dive up the inside of the machine of Tyler Pluff. He's going to make that move stick, but almost sent him into the corner.
Oh, Tyler's Pluff almost turned across the nose of Kenny Powell there. That certainly got close. Headed down the backstretch.
Certainly got close indeed, and so far, everything is looking very good amongst the drivers here in the...
Oh, Kenny got loose! Another good save. If we had that All-State good hands driver of the race, it'd go to everybody tonight. They've all been able to save it. And Clifton Cockrell into fourth. He gets by Andrew Melvin. Melvin on fresher tires.
Like the performance advantage from the fresher tires is starting to wear
Whoa,
off.
Kenny, where are you going? Tracks down here. Here comes Brian Johnson.
Johnson's going to say thank you very much and pick up a spot.
That's going to bring the 64 of John Mullins. I'm surprised he's back up here, considering he was almost dead on that opening run. But I guess he was able to make some adjustments to help get that car better, because right now he's in the 8th spot. Wait, no, Mullins is a lap down. Never mind. Mullins is the first car lap down, though, so if we see a caution, he would get the free pass as long as he's not in it. Oh, Mike Knight just popped the wall off the floor.
Pluff is still traveling the outside line, by the way, and he is continuing to drop down spots. He just lost one to Brian Johnson, and you might lose one out here to Kenny Powell as well if the 24 car gets up the inside.
Oh, Kenny Powell right on him. He's going to look to the bottom for turn 1. Sends it in on the bottom. Little loose under braking. Side by side. This is for 8th. Pluff got a little bit of a better run on the high side, and he's going to clear him down on the backstretch.
Still very, very tight all the way from really about the 6th position.
Jeffrey Smith almost died coming off turn 4. And he lost a spot because of it. That was close. Almost did it again off of 2. That car's wicked loose.
Dalton Collins and Boyd Hogan are both still very close for the lead as well. In first and second position, they're lapped really about even paces, but should note Wayne Grossi, he's in the 3rd position, and he has actually closed in the gap to both of them, and he is on 15-lap fresher tires.
Oh, Powell sent it into turn 3 and got right to the back bumper of Tyler Pluff. Problem is he can't do anything more right now. He just can't get by that 21 car.
Kenny Powell.
Oh, big stack up in the back. Mike Knight and Jeffrey Smith. They're able to hang on to it. They made contact going into turn 3. Another great save. It's going to cost Knight the 12th to Mike Eames. Smith able to hang on, though.
Looked like Jeffrey Smith kind of cut down and just doored Mike Knight as he was turning in for the corner.
Let's go back up front to the battle for the lead because it's tightened a bit. Dalton Collins, Boyd Hogan, then Wayne Grassi on the fresher tires with Clifton Cockrell lurking behind as well. So surprise, somebody with fresh tires has finally caught the two leaders, Collins and Hogan. So we're closing in on 50 to go.
So it looks like the top two, their tire gambit might not have paid off. Got it, Clifton Cockrell, like you said, mentioning he's closing in the gap as well. So it might be a 4-car battle here for the lead here in a minute.
Hogan and Collins on the older tires. Grassi on the fresher tires, pitted under that last caution. Same with Cockrell. And Grassi is right there on Hogan.
So Wayne Grassi looks like he's trying to dive bomb Boyd Hogan. Couldn't get there for 3. Can he get around, though, for 1? I mean, the fresh tires are still working for him. Hogan a little bit loose off of 4. Wayne Grassi, what was the last time by? Relatively the same, all the way from first on back to 4th.
And even go back to 5th, they're all the same there. With Brian Johnson, he's 3 seconds back from these guys, though. We're catching up on some lap traffic. It's the 33 of Cecil Keith. Christopher Hill is still on pit road 22 minutes later. He still thinks he can work on the car, and Cecil Keith's going to pull it to pit road to get out of the way of the leaders. Smart move.
I think he might come down and either A, park it, or B, just get the damage fixed, because at this point in time, it might not be worth it just running out there as is. He's already several laps down, so it's not really worth it staying out there any longer, really.
As it's about a 3.5 car breakaway with 50 laps to go here for the lead.
Yeah, it does look like Cockrell has kind of fallen back, doesn't it? He's hasn't closed in too much in the past few laps. It really just has been these 3 cars just kind of on their own.
Mm-hmm. Still a 3-car breakaway here at the front. Looks like Cockrell may be falling back just a bit compared to this top 3, as literally 100th of a second between these 3 cars that last time by based on speed.
You might be wondering why as well we're not looking at any of the other cars in the field, because it's not like these are the only 3. Well, these are the only 3 that are really this close to each other, and this is the most important battle on the field at the moment, isn't it? You got, I believe this is your points leader, Boyd Hogan. Boyd Hogan, I believe, is the points leader coming in today. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's looking to extend on his points lead coming into today. Wayne Grassi looks like he might be falling back a bit too, so it's a 2-car breakaway now for the lead. Dalton Collins and Boyd Hogan, the 2 drivers that have been going at it since the start of the race. They've been trying to work together. They're running the same strategy right now, which is just stay out and try to make it to the end as is. I don't think their tires are going to last nearly that long, so we'll have to see if they'll come down for a tire stop yet in this race. Right now, less than 50 laps to go. Coming to 44 this time by.
Clock is ticking for these guys up here at the front. I would think that Collins and Hogan should be able to make it on fuel. But those are the two questions right now. Everybody else behind him, as long as they took fuel when they pitted under that last caution, they should be able to make it to the end without any problems. Boyd Hogan, I think he's won 4 times this season. Dalton Collins, in his first start, finished second. I don't believe he's found victory lane yet, but he's gotten awfully close so far this season. Trying to pull it off here at Phoenix tonight.
This is definitely still one of the closest battles he got right now on the track. I say that Jeffrey Smith lost it in the back. You saw that too?
Well, I was more worried about Boyd Hogan. He got a little squirrely back there, but Smith appears to be driving an evil race car yet again. Just got passed by Cecil Keith.
Collins at this point has led a pretty much every lap just about since the drop of the green flag on the last restart. We are coming up to 40 laps remaining now. So at this point in time, if you were taking the strategy, if you want to split the tires throughout the race, you would be coming in within the next lap or so for that final set. But some of these drivers, they haven't even made more than one pit stop so far.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think these guys are going to do it. Maybe Kenny Powell, who's back in 10th. Maybe Andrew Melvin. He's in 6th right now. But I don't see many of these guys that are contending for the win, at least, to come back onto pit road and try and get tires under green. If we have a caution, that's going to change everything. But if we're able to stay green, I don't think we'll see anybody come onto pit road. And Grossi is now falling back from Hogan and Collins. Are you kidding me?
It looks to me like Dalton Collins just has the better car. I mean, Boyd Hogan's been pushing hard to stay with him, and Collins has now just started to pull away by a little bit every lap.
Well,
I think the 95 has just got the better car here.
Cockrell's fallen way back, and I guess Grossi burnt his stuff off trying to catch up to Collins and Hogan. I mean, he's losing time now. He's about 10th off from these guys, and I just can't wrap my head around the fact that Collins and Hogan are on the older tires and they're still able to pull away.
I honestly think that's the shocking thing here too. I mean, we thought this would play out a lot more differently, when with the older tires versus the newer tires. And again, Hogan and Collins, they just shot away on that restart while everyone was just going bananas behind them. And I think that by the time the newer tire cars got clear, they had already burnt the stuff and they didn't have the performance advantage anymore.
At this point, I feel like it's Dalton Collins' race to lose. If we get a caution, I think it'll change some things, and we might see Boyd Hogan just send it into the corner. Otherwise, I think it's all Collins. Battle for 4th. Clifton Cockrell, Brian Johnson.
Johnson tried to have a look into 1 and 2, but was forced to back off on the exit. Just couldn't get the hammer down in time to really capitalize on the run. Now he might get a good tow here down that front straightaway. See if he can make something down in the 1. Oh, no, he won't. He runs wide on the entry.
Yeah, overdrove the corner. But they're relatively even on exit. Half an hour later, Christopher Hill still in the pit box, hasn't budged. Still thinks car rolling.
At this point in time, I'm pretty sure Christopher Hill is just hanging around as a spectator of the race, pretty much. Decided not to get it out on the racetrack, because no doubt that car can go out there by now. That or the car just really had that much damage on it.
Yep.
It was a fairly hard hit, so...
Well, yeah, I mean, he went head on into the outside wall and he almost hit on into the wall and then hit Johnson 2 or 3 times, so... Closing in now on just 30 laps to go.
It looks like the closest battle is still between Johnson and Cockrell. Johnson's reeled in the gap once again to the number 16 machine. It looks like Johnson can really get him on the exit, but just can't capitalize too much on the entry. Hugging the line a bit tighter, though, through 3 and 4 this time around.
See what he can do into turn 1 if he tries to get underneath. Cockrell left the door open for a moment. Johnson still applying the pressure.
wide.
Up the hill goes Cockrell, side by side for 4th.
Cockrell put too much speed
Got
in
it.
there, trying to carry the momentum. Didn't work for him. Oh, not quite. Look at this. Cockrell fighting back around the outside.
Johnson gets the better launch off the bottom, off the corner, and he's got 4th all wrapped up.
Oh, Cliff Cockrell just slapped the wall on the entry to turn number 1, so that's going to cause him to overshoot and lose a lot of time. Meanwhile, Mike Knight is down the pit road from 15th position.
Unless he's trying to pull that tire strategy that you've been talking about. But he's been outside the top 10 for most of the afternoon, so we'll see what happens here. Inside 30 laps to go. And Boyd Hogan still applying the pressure to Dalton Collins for the lead.
Once again, that is the closest battle we have on the track right now, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, nothing really that Boyd Hogan can do. As you see Mike Knight just come out of the pits, no doubt on some fresh rubber. Hogan all sorts of loose, though, off of turn 2.
Gotta wonder now if Mike Knight's gonna go out there and try and kill 3rd place. Like what happened earlier. With the lap car on fresh tires, I mean, we'll see. I'd bet against that, but he's going to go by Grassi here headed for turn 1 and doesn't take him out. How about that? Wayne Grassi lives to see another lap.
Dalton Collins approaching Jeffrey Smith now, who got loose a couple laps ago. So this could play into Boyd Hogan's hands here if Dalton Collins ends up being held up here by a lap traffic. Might go in Collins' favor, though, because you should note as well, Collins, well, the car in front of him is not exactly battling for position, is it? Meanwhile, Mike Knight just breezes by Boyd Hogan. He's clearly on fresh rubber.
Yup. And I imagine going into turn 1, he's going to get by Dalton Collins as well.
Oh, he's going to be
Get up
before
before
turn
then.
1.
But that allowed Hogan to lose some time to Collins.
Oh, but Hogan threw it away. Got really loose off of 2.
As you can tell, things are really exciting right now. At this point, we're just waiting for the lap counter to tick away. We're inside 25 laps to go. And Dalton Collins just trying to hang on as Boyd Hogan's trying to hang on for dear life from killing himself for the race car. That thing almost got away from him coming off a 2.
Collins has caught Jeffrey Smith as well in the number 46 car. Sorry, the 96 car. So Collins going to have to try to find the inside. Oh my goodness, nearly takes him out.
Jeffrey Smith almost kills the leader, and now he's going to hold up Hogan.
It's always a two-part game, isn't
Oh,
it?
Jeffrey Smith just hooked it straight into the door. Is that going to be the caution? He's off the track. We're still green. He's rolling. We stay green. We get no caution. Good Lord.
That
Jeffrey Smith. What?
What happened there was he was on the line, and there's a pretty...
He just lost it on the line?
Yeah.
On the apron.
Yeah, it's the transition. There's a bit of a transition between dogleg and not dogleg. And he stuck it on the line for too long and lost the back end of the car because it was off camber.
And Boyd Hogan's closed back into Collins, coming to 20 laps to go.
21 this time by at the line. Check that, 20 laps to go this time by. Collins is being backed up by Boyd Hogan here by Ron Hollifield.
I imagine it won't be long till they're able to get by Hollifield here, especially going down into turn 3. There they go, and there they go. So Hollifield will fall 1 lap down. First car 1 lap down. If the caution were to come out, he'd get the free pass.
And Ron Hollifield gives a thank you to the leaders for, well, not taking him out.
Keeping it clean, that's what matters.
Indeed. Both these drivers as well have moved up 16 and 13 spots from where they started in the race respectively. Of course, like we mentioned before the race, neither driver setting practice or qualifying laps in today's session, but I think it's very obvious to say that they definitely had a bit of on-track practice prior to the session going up tonight.
I would hope so. Just a reminder, next week we're at Homestead at the 1.5 mile oval. Then we go to the Nashville Fairgrounds, take a week off, and then we're in Phoenix. No, we're at Richmond to wrap up the season. We're here at Phoenix now. Yeah.
Hogan is closing on Collins in the entry and start of the mid corner, but
They are
Collins is just
dead even that last time by. Here at the line, Hogan was a 10th faster. 15 laps to go here at Phoenix. Hogan got a little loose on exit. Gonna hurt him.
Yeah, and what I'm seeing here is that Boyd Hogan is faster than him on the entry and the mid corner, but Dalton Collins is just so much better on the exit of the corners that Hogan just can't do anything. He has to really send it into the corner or he's not going to ever be able to get there. Under 15 laps to go now, coming to 13. Let's hope there isn't a caution on unlucky number 13.
Don't jinx it now.
I mean, who doesn't like a green, white, checker finish?
Well, Dalton Collins may not like a green, white, checkered finish if it involves him losing the race, but We'll have to see. Coming to a lap, yeah, we're coming to a lap to go here, and I mean Dalton Collins, I think he's got it under lock and key coming off of 4. He just can't make a mistake.
I'm telling you, Collins has the better car. Like, there's just nothing Boyd Hogan can do. Hogan can try all he might, but he's not going to be able to get him unless there's a yellow flag and they come down to get some fresh rubber on there. They're coming up to lap Cecil Keith now, who's once again going to take it down to pit road. John Mullins is also down to the lane. So some late takes to pit road, it would seem.
Yep.
This is, of course, the most thrilling race we've had all season. Under 10 to go.
I think this is it. I mean, Hogan's just, the car just doesn't seem to handle well on corner exit at this point compared to earlier on in the run. I think he burned off his stuff just a little too much. We do have some guys on pit road. John Mullins, Cecil Keith. They have decided to pit here with under 10 laps to go. Five to go from Phoenix.
So far, only 2 yellow flags in the race. One for a rather questionable incident between your last week's winner, Christopher Hill, and Craig Johnson. The other one.
I can't count. 6 laps to go at Phoenix.
Oh.
Coming to 5 to go. Now we're 5 to go.
4th and 3rd are still close. Wayne Grossi and Brian Johnson, that gap is closed on up. Brian Johnson's been consistently quicker.
Brian Johnson has caught him. He's been relatively easy going so far in this late run, and looks like it might pay off for him here, as he's going to fight pretty hard for this 3rd spot.
They are right now just on the back of Ron Hollandfield as well. Johnson trying the outside. He's just overdriven the corner big time. He's just thrown that battle away. Coming to 3 to go. Ahead of your 2 main leaders here, you got James Colabali and Jeffrey Smith, 2 drivers that are significantly slower than these two front runners. They are going to catch them before the end of this race. We're 2 to go. Could this play into the battle?
How about third and fourth, though? Grassi and Johnson. Johnson is right there on him. He's got the lap car ahead of Holyfield. Oh, Johnson's going to bump him.
Oh! We will get some action.
But hang on. Johnson knows he's fast, saying, knock, 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 I'm coming in. He goes to the outside. White flag, 1 lap to go here at Phoenix.
1 to go. Let's keep our eyes on the battle for third. Johnson's got to probably make the move here down in the 1, or he's going to have to make it into 3. It's one of the 2. He's going to try to get him here on the exit of 2.
Grassi got the better exit. For the final time down the backstretch. This is for third. This is for the first interview slot for our broadcast. Johnson up high, going to try and cross it over. Dalton Collins wins at Phoenix. And it looks like Grassi's going to hang on.
That locks out the podium with Boyd Hogan in the 2nd position.
Andrew Melvin comes across the line 5th, then Chris Johnson. Clifton Cockrell passes Tyler Pluff right at the line. No, never mind. I'm not sure what my scoring was doing. Pluff finished ahead of Cockrell. And Mike Eames rounds out the top 10. All right, well.
Wow.
In a moment, we'll get to do some interviews with our top 3. Grassi, Hogan, and Collins. Let's take a look here. Go ahead.
Most race results coming up. Collins wins, Hogan 2nd. Both drivers 16, 13 spots up where they started today. Wayne Grassi locks out the podium. Brian Johnson 4th. Andrew Melvin finishes it off at 5th. Your former pole sitter. Not the best day for him today. Chris Johnson in the 48 car finishing 6th. Pluff in 7th. 5th Cockrell 8th. Jada Profit, Mike Eames. We're rounding out the top 10.
11th, Kenny Powell, the 24th. Then 12th, James Colabali. 13th, Ron Holyfield. 14th, Mike Knight. 15th, Jeffrey Smith. 16th, John Mullins. 17th, Cecil Keith. 18th, 91 laps down, Christopher Hill. And then out of the race, the 83 of Craig Johnson in 19th. And Brian Hubble in 20th rounds out the field. All right, Nolan, let's talk to some folks. How about 2nd place, Boyd Hogan?
Yes, sir.
Well, you were close, closer, lost a little bit, got close again. What happened there towards the end? You and Collins were all over each other the whole race long, and then it just seemed like what happened? Did the tires fall off, or did Collins just have the better car?
I mean, I think it was kind of we're both on the same car, so that definitely wasn't it. I mean, it's tough to pass here, and I mean it's hard to get a run once the tires get worn out. You're just kind of slipping and sliding and trying to find grip wherever you can. And I mean, the only way I was gonna pass them was to drive through them, and that was the plan on the last lap, but we weren't there. So it's a good points day for us. So we'll take that, move on for sure. But yeah, it's just it's hot and slick out here, and I mean, we realized we were short with about 6-7 to go. At that point, we're trying to make it to the end. So it is what it is, and we'll move on. Go win to Dalton. Yeah.
Nolan, you have anything here?
Let's talk about Homestead for a minute, because of course that's the next race coming up, and that's the last 1.5-mile race in the season. The last 200-mile race, as a matter of fact, the season is that. Then we go to the Nashville Fairgrounds, and then to Richmond to finish off the season. So what do you think the strategy is going to be for you coming up to the final, I guess, cookie cutter racetrack of the season?
I mean, Homestead, we already know we got a really good car for, so I mean, it's just kind of go in there and finish it with all fenders on it, and hopefully we bring home at least another top 3, but it'd be nice to get another win. we've been up front in a lot of these, but we haven't won a whole lot of them. And so it'd be nice to cross another one off the list for sure. But yeah, ultimately just go in there, protect the points lead, and get to the wheelhouse tracks. Nashville, I know Dalton's gonna be looking forward to. I myself am as well, and Richmond's one of my favorite tracks. So just kind of go into to Homestead and try to maintain the points lead.
And finally, anybody you want to thank here before we move on?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I got to thank Chris Hill, David Mercer, Cale Gale, everybody who's put a lot of time into this Phoenix car. This is probably one of the cars that we've worked the hardest on all year long, just because we've got a lot of big races coming up this weekend, including this one here. Got to thank those guys for sure. Everybody on Legacy Esports, everybody on Slip Angle, Judd at a Bruzy, huge thank you to him. He's done a lot for us here lately. ButtKicker. I also want to shout out Trayton Lapsevich. He's been helping us get the new setup shop going. Reaper Speed Lab. Check us out on Facebook. The website's going up hopefully next week sometime. So check those out if you're looking for asphalt oval sets. But yeah, I mean, good race. Want to thank you guys for putting it on.
Boyd Hogan, your second place finisher here at Phoenix. Congratulations on the finish, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, sir.
All right, now on to third place finisher, Wayne Grossi. You were, well, let's see. You were up towards the front of the field, and then the pit strategy hit with that second caution. You made a decision to come on and get the tires, and early on in that run, it looked like you may have been the car to beat. Then as time got closer to the checkered flag, you seemed to fall off a bit. Take us through your day.
Yeah, that was a tough decision there, whether to take tires or not. I didn't think it would go green, but I was lucky it did. I tried to catch the leaders, but didn't have enough for them. My car just didn't have the long run speed that they had. So I just had to hang on and do the best I could.
Nolan?
I actually kind of want to talk about that battle with Brian Johnson there coming into the closing laps of the race. We honestly thought Johnson was going to move you for the final podium position. He got awfully close a couple times as well. Talk through that battle in the closing stages.
Yeah, I saw him coming, and I was trying to pace him. I knew he had a loose car like I did. My car got loose on the long run, and I noticed it did too. So I knew I just had to just kind of pace myself and just try not to let the car get loose on me. I let it got away from me there once, almost lost it. But all in all, I just had to just concentrate on not getting loose.
And just as I did with Boyd, anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, my teammate Gil Gawk, he works with me on these setups. He did a good job for me there, and got to thank him and my sponsors, Shell Pennzoil, and I'd like to thank you guys. You put on a good show. Appreciate what you do. Enjoy watching it. Keep it up.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week at Homestead. Best of luck to you then.
All right, thank you.
Wayne Grossi, your third place finisher here at Phoenix. And finally, we go ahead and we talk to our winner, Dalton Collins. I think it's pretty obvious you had the fastest car of the day. You were up front for most of the day. When you weren't up front, you were slicing your way through the field like mad. I thought you were burning your tires off, and you still were running faster than everybody else there at the end of the last run. Take us through.
Yeah, man. Just really enjoyed the race. It was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. It's really my bread and butter, actually. Hot slick racetracks. Racing the short tracks all the time, and just working that throttle all night and just making sure I kept it straight. I know a couple of times there I got it dead sideways off the corners, about gave it away, but yeah, had a badass car from Legacy Sports, prepared by Boyd. All the guys at Reaper Speed Lab with our new stuff going on there. It's it was a fun race, and really was looking forward to that bump and run. I actually told Boyd to not. I don't know what words I can get away with here, but pretty much told him not to be a bitch and move me if he got to me. So I was actually looking forward to seeing what would happen there. So good race all the way around, and glad I can check off another league that I've won in.
Let's talk about pit strategy for a little bit here, Dalton, because it was a bit of an interesting pit call from you coming in the obviously under that first caution of the race. You filled the car up enough to make it to the end of the race, and you never came in, I don't believe, for the rest of the race. I think you actually managed to stay it out for the entirety of the run through. It's not a strategy we see all too often. Walk us through that decision.
Yeah, I've over the past couple months, I think I've gotten better at saving gas and stuff. And we came down with about 88 to go, I believe, and I think we had a caution with about 75 to go. Was still just saving gas under caution, and barely had enough to get to the end, and actually ran out while doing burnout. So yeah, just trying to be smart there. Stay there for the end, and just hopefully I saved enough gas at the end, and that's exactly what we did, and came home with the win.
And finally, anybody you want to shout out and thank here?
Yeah, Boyd Hogan for building this car, and Legacy Sports, Kale Gill, Christopher Hill, really everybody that helps us out. Austin Derbyshire for the paints, Jacob Hefner, Trey Lampsfitch on the short track side, all the guys over there, Robbie Keneally. We just have a lot of people that work in different areas of the team, and there's a reason why we have Boyd here leading the A Open points in official overall, and getting so many wins every week, it seems like, and just a lot of hard work. You look at all these setup shops. Go back to Reaper Speed Lab, and you have McConey, Rocket, all those guys. Having all these guys, with good background, and with us, it just seems like we have a more blue collar attitude, trying to put in more work than everybody else, and we don't really need a flashy background. We just need everybody to put in work, and the results will come, and we're definitely showing that. So big thanks to those guys, and we'll definitely be there at Homestead, try to make it 2 in a row.
All right, well, congratulations, and we'll see you next week at Homestead.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Your race winner, Dalton Collins. Final thoughts here, Nolan.
Definitely not the most entertaining race, shall I say, but I would say a very nice change from the past race that we had at Martinsville. This one went by, obviously, quite a bit quicker, and I think we're definitely all looking forward to what the next few weeks have in store. Homestead, of course, is next, and that track's got a bit of an interesting reputation to it of its own, so, I guess we'll just have to see what's waiting for us on the other side there.
That we will. That wraps up our coverage here from Phoenix Raceway. And Dalton Collins, your race winner. We'll see you next week from Homestead Miami Speedway. From all of us here, Kenny Powell running the league for us, Rob Melnick behind the scenes running the streams, Nolan Rempel here with me. I'm Jacob Hitz. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week from Homestead. Take care. Good night.